Hey everybody, so hopefully you guys hear me. I'm going to be painting the pumpkin that I carved in the other video. Hopefully the focus is a little better this time. So what you want to do is definitely make sure you're wearing gloves. You don't have to wear leather gloves. You can wear latex gloves. For this part, the paints will be on, depending on you, what you decide to paint, what you decide to use to paint this pumpkin is based on how you want the pumpkin to look. I'm gonna go with a simple, pretty much orange and black, and then at the very end I'll go in with like a brown wash. But the brown wash, I'll do that in another video because I don't want to make this video too long. So, actually in that video I'll do actually two things. I'll actually do a brown wash, and I'll do an example with a green wash to just experiment and see how they look, and you can determine which one you kind of would like to do. So painting all black, kind of don't have to really, shouldn't have to do too much of a demonstration with that. You're just making sure the entire pumpkin is coated in black paint. Paint you could use exterior or interior, doesn't quite matter, except where you're going to place the pumpkin. If you're going to be having it outside for a long time, exterior is the best way to go. If you're going to have this pumpkin indoors or under some type of roofing where it's not going to get wet, interior paint's fine. So I have some barrels here of, not barrels, some containers here of paint. So what you want to do is get brush, medium-sized brush, and just get in everywhere. What you might experience after you're done painting this whole pumpkin is that in the mouth you're gonna get like a pool of paint. That's okay, because the paint sometimes doesn't fully dry down there, and you could actually grab that with a smaller brush to touch up the rest of the pumpkin wherever there's still white showing. The pumpkin, because it's styrofoam, understand that it's not going to be usually it's not going to be one coating. It's going to be like two coatings of your first color. So that's something to keep in mind. So you just want to really get in there. You're not going to get every spot, but you want to cover this pumpkin, almost just slabber the paint on, it's fine. But you want to cover all the foam with the paint, so it doesn't matter about looking pretty at this point. You're just putting the paint on to make sure it goes everywhere. Right now I'm just trying not to make too much of a mess, so you kind of want to just wear clothes that are not going to you don't care about getting dirty. So I'm going to take a break from painting this black. I'm actually going to show you. With this one, I didn't finish covering it in orange. There's actually some black here. So when you're going to put on the orange, what you want to do is dry brush the orange, not just slabber it on as we are doing here with the black. The reason is because you want the black to reflect the details. All the little crevices, you want the black to be there. If you just slather on the orange, you're going to basically undo the work you just did. So and it's okay if the surface has some white here and there, because you're going to go in with orange in that, and that's going to cover it up. So so you want to go in. You don't have to go in with a tiny brush. I'm just going with tiny brush for this spot, but you want to dry brush your orange on. So rub some of that orange off and then go in. It's going to take multiple layers. Understand that too. Is that the painting part's the more time-consuming portion of this project. You get a little more paint there because there's white, so it's going to absorb it. So this part you're gonna take more time. Once the paint dries, you're going to have to go in again. This part with the orange might take 3 layers. If not, you could get away sometimes with just 2. It really it varies. Sometimes even the weather will have some effect on the paint. It'll dry it faster, so you get actually more coverage, laying down faster, and so therefore the paint doesn't get absorbed as much. So Yeah, again, so you see the black is still seeping through even though I'm covering this with orange. This orange is actually stronger than this one, and that's because I'm doing such a thin layer. But the good thing is you're controlling how much orange you want to put. If you want more black in this pumpkin, then you don't have to put so many layers. I'm using all exterior paint, so I don't have to worry too much about putting a clear coat over this. But because I'm gonna put these pumpkins outside, so it made sense for me to just go straight out, use exterior paint. But you could use interior paint and just put a whole clear coat on that, on the pumpkin, and it should be just fine. So that's what I did with my columns that are behind me. I actually found some cheap interior paint, painted the columns, and then I just sprayed clear coat, matte clear coat. Now if you're going to spray something on these pumpkins, I suggest make sure there's no foam exposed. Make sure you do put plenty of layers of paint on the foam, because anything foam, if it's exposed or if you come in too strong with your with your can of spray paint or even an airbrush, it could eat the foam. So I would suggest you make sure you really coat that. So you're gonna let that dry, and then what you want to do is check it out, see how it is, and see if you want to do more coats. So at the end you should get something more or less like this. And like I said, I'll go over doing washes in another video, but for now you want something like this where you're covering all your interior black. You want most of your crevices with black. You can always go back if this is too orange, you could go back in there, do a black wash or do a brown wash, whatever wash you want to do, and that'll fix all your crevices. This pumpkin right here, I left the top like that black. So this is more or less how you want it to look. This one could use a little more work, but other than that, it's good. There's actually some dry pooling of paint on the inside the mouth. That actually, to me, is it's fine. It's not going to be a problem. The other cool thing is, again, it has the holes, so I could put a light in here, and these eyes are going to light up real nicely, as they do with the mouth. So again, the painting is all going to be all up to you. You can even leave it like this, where I didn't add too much. I just added a little bit of a orange wash to this, and a few layers of orange, and I think this one came out okay. You could leave it like this, or you could add more orange. It's all up to you. So that's it for this one. Again, it's very simple. Stay tuned for the next videos of the painting of these pumpkins. Next videos are going to be washes, so stay tuned for those, and see you in the next one.